The other parable, or wisdom, ancient wisdom, you might call it, that I've seen, we've talked about as we go through the book, is the one which says that we should rejoice with those that rejoice and sorrow with those that sorrow. And that's something we'll live with every day. We'll live with every day, especially in the social media world. You can easily get depressed if you don't understand, this ancient wisdom. You scroll over on social media, you see every other person is doing well, and maybe your own life is static. And you're tempted to think that you're getting the wrong end of the stick, and you are depressed, you're feeling sorrowful. It's like life has left you, but that's not true. That's not true. For one, most of the things they are seeing online, there are backstories to it that might even be worse than your own. But that's not even what we're talking about here. But whatever it is that you're looking at, whatever it is that's happening to any other person, you too can have your own. You too can have your own. To way to bring your own to forth, the way to call your own forth is to rejoice with what you are seeing. Don't let what you are seeing make you sorrowful, because it will only push yours away. What you don't rejoice over, what you cannot celebrate, you cannot have. What you cannot celebrate, you cannot have. So if you see it happening in another person's life, your portion, your place is to celebrate it, because the way you're celebrating it is a magnet by which you call it into your own life. But when you celebrate it, you call it into your own life. You are praying it into your own life when you celebrate it in the life of someone else. What you celebrate in the life of someone else will easily find its way to you. What you don't celebrate in the life of someone else will not find its way to you. Right? When you celebrate, when you rejoice with someone else, you are praying that the thing that is happening to this person, may it also happen to me. You are making your life, as it were, you are preparing your life. You are making your life a magnet for the thing you are rejoicing over in another person's life. And it must be a sincere rejoicing for the prayer to be true. There's also the other side to it. We need to also sorrow with those that sorrow. We don't rejoice over another person's downfall, but we sorrow with them. We don't abuse their seeming temporal momentarily moment of sorrow, but we come down to them as equals, and we sorrow with them. We provide a shoulder for them to lean on. We provide our presence to cover them, to cover their nakedness in the time of their weakness. We give them that impression. We give them that truth that they have someone in us, right? So it's rejoicing with those that rejoice, with sorrow with those that sorrow. It's seeing everyone as human, right? And taking away the false label of tribalism, religiosity, and ethnicity, and all of those blindfolds, and seeing beyond those masks to the person that is made in the image and likeness of God. Right? That is what life entails. That is what life entails. And that's the way by which you also open the windows of heaven so that the blessings of God can be to you. Because when you appreciate, you honor God in another person's life, you are honoring God Himself. And God is no debtor. He will pay you. When you honor God, He will honor you. When you honor God in another person's life, God will honor you, not that person. So Jesus says, give and it shall be given unto you. Press down, shaken together, and running over. So will men pour into your bosom. Right? When you honor God, God will make men to pour into your bosom. Right? When you rejoice with another person's joy, God will make men to pour into your bosom. When you sorrow with another person's sorrow, God will make men to be there for you also in the time of your sorrow, in the time of your downfall, in the time of your cold, in the time of your visitation, right? It ties into Stevie Covey's TED law of highly effective people. It says you seek to understand before you are understood. Before you want people to understand you, understand them first of all. That helps. That's the way we relate with people effectively, because when you understand people, then you're able to reach them the way they need to be reached. You are not just throwing things over the fence at them, and they're not, it's not hitting them the right way. But when you understand them, then you're able to get to them the way they need to be gotten to, not the way you want to get to them, but the way they need to be gotten to. Because your intent is not just to throw things at them, is to reach them. And to reach them, you must know where they are to reach them. So it's a place of seeking to understand where people are, why people behave the way they behave, why they respond the way they respond, and how to get your message through to them, right? Or how both of you can come to a common ground as human beings, right? So it takes an effort, right, to do that.